Topic 19-3, Effects of Outliers. Your essential question: how can an outlier affect mean, medium, and mode? Well, you're going to know after this lesson, presented by your lovely teacher, Miss Villaseñor. Okay, well, we have to see now the outlier. How does that change our data results? And in order for us to see that, we're going to have to find the mean, median, mode and those outliers. You're going to see how the outlier can really change the data, which might not be so accurate. Okay, so we're gonna work out the this problem with the table that they use in your book, which is about the comet and then how many orbital periods and years. Okay, so we see these different comets here, and then how long does it take? Now, just by looking at the data here, let me clean it up. Do you see how, these are 4.6, 4.6, 4.4, 4.5, and a 50.7? Wow, okay. We can spot what the outlier is, right? From 4 to 50, that is a big difference. And you're going to see how this outlier here is going to affect the data for mean, medium, and mode. Okay, first we're going to find the range to this set. And remember, the range is subtracting your highest number, which is 50.7, to the lowest number, which is that 4.4. Okay, so when we subtract that, we're going to see that the range is 46.3. Okay, so let's save that data and then compare in a minute. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to solve the mean, medium, and mode without the outlier. Okay, and then we're going to do it with the outlier, and then we're going to compare and see how did the outlier kind of mess with the results. Okay, what we're going to do first is find the mode with the outlier, and I put an O to represent outlier, so we're going to go ahead and include this one. And let's see, remember the mode means the one that occurs the most often, the one that repeats. So looking at the data here, 4.6, 4.6, 4.4, 4.5, 50.7. So 4.6 is our mode, the one that repeats. Okay, now let's find the mode without. This means without the outlier. So this time I'm not going to include this information here. Okay, so if I don't include the outlier, 4.6 still repeats, this one doesn't, and so my mode will be the same. So in this case, does the outlier affect the data information? Does it change? No, it's still the same for the mode. Okay. Okay, now let's find the median. We'll go ahead and do it with the outlier. Okay, so remember we got to put the numbers first from least to greatest. So it's going to be 4.4 before we could find the median, the one in the numbers. The one in the middle. So 4.4, then it's going to be 4.5, then it's going to be 4.6, and then 4.6. And then it's going to be the 50. I'll put that down here. 50.7. Okay, so now that we have it in order from least to greatest, we're going to cross them out. Left, right, right. And it looks like the median is 4.6. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try to find the median without the outlier. Okay, this time we're not going to include the 50.7. We're not including the outlier, and see if our median changes. We have to do the same thing again from least to greatest. So we're going to start with 4.4, then 4.5, then 4.6, and then 4.6. Okay, so then we cross left, right, and then we have these two numbers in the middle. Okay, so what we have to do when you have those two numbers in the middle, we have to add 4.5 plus 4.6, which is going to give us 9.1. Then we have to divide that by 2 to get the one in between them, and then it would be the 4.55. Okay, so our median with the outlier would be the 4.6. The median without the outlier changes a little bit, but the value is pretty close still, and then it would change to 4.55. Okay, so a little bit of difference with the outlier included in this case or without it. Okay, so let's find the mean with the outlier. So remember how to find the mean. We have to add all these numbers and then divide them by how many sets. So we're gonna add 4.6 plus 4.6 plus a 4.4 plus 4.5 plus 50.7. Okay, and when we add all these together, we're going to get the answer of 68.8. Now we have to divide it by how many sets here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of numbers. So then when we divide that by 5, our answer is going to be, the mean is 13.8. Okay, so we're going to list it here, 13.8. Now we're going to find the mean if we don't include the outlier. Okay, so we're going to cross that out and erase all these numbers here. And remember, finding the mean, again, we're going to add all the numbers. This time it's going to be without the outlier. We're not going to include it, and see if is there a difference with finding the mean. So this time we're going to add 4.6, right, plus 4.6 plus 4.4 plus 4.5, okay, because we're not including the outlier. And when we do that, then we're going to get a total of 18.1. Okay, now we're going to divide by how many numbers here. So now we're only dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So when we divide that by 4, our answer is 4.5. So the mean without the outlier, there's a big difference. We go from, let me use another color here so it stands out. We go from 13.8 to 4.5. In this one, there is a big difference between 4 and 13. So the outlier did have a greater effect. So when we compare these two numbers, when we do a comparison like 13.8 compared to 4.5, with the outlier, it creates a greater difference, a greater number. Okay, so if the outlier would have been a smaller number, now looking back at the information here, remember it's from a 50 and a 4, then the outlier can make it go down quite a bit. Okay, so because of that greater number value in that outlier, it causes the mean to go greater. Okay, so if the outlier would have been smaller, then it would have caused the mean without it to go even smaller. Okay. Okay, so in conclusion, your outlier can have a big effect on which one? The mean, median, or mode, and we found that the mean is where the outlier can affect your results. So depending on, your gap, it could cause the mean to go up way higher if the outlier is greater, or it could really make your mean drop if the outlier is very small compared to your other set of numbers. Okay, so the greatest effect, it looks like the mean will be affected if you have an outlier in your data. And that's about it. So you should be good to go.